Hello, everybody. Please, don't notice my high energy too much. You know what? Let me drink this caffeinated drink. And welcome back to my home. Today, I want to talk about people to avoid. I've already talked about this, but I have more people to avoid. The one thing I want to preface, though, that I think maybe I failed to mention in other videos is that generally it's important to have an understanding that people are not perfect and you should never expect them to be perfect. People are, going through their own journeys, they're having their own experiences, and they have the reasons for who they are. Like their psychology, their way of living, their way of thinking has been molded. It's also a relationship between them and what they want, how they think, and how they respond to things. It all has to do with a lot of how they were molded. However, it's very important, especially if you're somebody who wants to heal or just wants to change their way of life, when you know what your new dream life or your new persona that you want to adopt, maybe just even embracing the real you, which should be everyone's goal, right? But some people do not have the same goals as you do of being authentic and unconditionally loving yourself, or maybe they're just not there yet, and that's perfectly okay. But we can't hold everybody's hands, and this is something I definitely had to learn the hard way, but it gets easier when you start choosing yourself more. And choosing yourself also looks like choosing who you're around. So it's not to say these people can go die. Like, no, definitely. I mean, I don't think you thought I meant that anyway, but really just emphasizing that do not villainize these people. They're not villains. Everyone is flawed to some extent. Some more than others. Some cause more harm than other people. That should be clear, but no one is perfect. And I think embracing this flawed humanity allows you to love yourself more. And also you feel better about your decisions of who you want to spend time with. Because you know you're not doing it out of a malice or out of this hatred towards them. You're doing it because you know you have nothing to offer them and they have nothing to offer you. So it doesn't really make sense to engage in this relationship. Let's get started. So the first kind of people that we gotta keep an eye out for, because these people, guys, take so much of your energy. It's people who think you're always arguing with them. Okay, I think this archetype of a person has just manifested in my life like relentlessly. And I think it wasn't until I literally had to put my foot down and just say, I don't even care to explain myself anymore. I don't even care to tell this person that they're making a big deal out of this. It just got to a point where it's like, you just want to be angry. Like maybe you don't even realize it, but you just want to be angry because why are we always arguing? Why? Arguments are just the release of anger. When I think of the word argument, I think of a negative connotation. I don't think of sitting down and talking something out. That doesn't sound like an argument to me. That sounds more like maybe a debate even, but even a debate still sounds kind of angsty in some ways. More like a conversation where the goal is to solve an issue. But arguing is something completely different. When you're speaking with anger, you're talking to multiple people here, okay? You're talking to the person that you're angry at, but you're also talking to yourself. The way that you understand how you feel anger in your body and in your head, if you don't do the work about what makes you angry or why you get angry, you don't understand even how to calm yourself down, you don't understand what other thoughts arise when you're angry. This is the point I wanted to get at. With every emotion that you're already releasing comes beliefs that are already existing, that you feel, that you remember, that you believe when you're releasing this emotion. Let me break this down. I think of it kind of like muscle memory. Okay, let's say like when you maybe we're younger. This is kind of an extreme example. Hopefully it's not too extreme, but you're around people that are violent when they're angry. Maybe you adopt that. Okay, so now maybe when you're angry, You start punching things, okay? There's kind of this aggression that you are already associating with the feeling of anger. Okay, that was like one idea of what I was trying to explain, but let me just hold on. So there's that, but there's also when you get angry, and let's say every time that you looked in the mirror and you saw a flaw that you thought, or something you thought that you did, something you thought was a flaw, you started getting angry. So maybe now when you get angry, your insecurities are also kind of in the back of your mind, because when you're angry, you're normally fixating on something that you don't like about yourself or about someone else. Or maybe like when you're angry, it reminds you of the last time you were angry at like your ex or something. Basically, just know there's a history behind every emotion. So when someone is yelling at you, they're mostly yelling at themselves, because it's not the situation itself that's making them angry. The situation is triggering a response that maybe reminds them of something that's happened in the past, or it brings up just some kind of insecurity or some kind of wound that they haven't worked through. There's just some reason as to why that situation has fueled so much emotion into them. And it's not the situation itself, it's the relationship between them and the situation. Sometimes this has nothing to do with you. People who think that you're arguing with them all the time, one, they're not used to having healthy conversations. Also, I don't even think these people realize it. First of all, I used to always think people were arguing with me. They already think that you're coming at them. That's why they're arguing with you. They can't see that maybe they did something actually wrong. Like, maybe there's a fear around being wrong or being the bad guy or being the villain in a situation. Like, they literally think that anything that you're saying is you coming at them. And obviously each argument is different. So the context as to why they think you're arguing with them could be different. But the main point is that they feel like you're pointing a finger at them. And this is what I say, like when you're arguing with somebody, when you're presenting a problem that you have with what someone did, emphasize the problem itself and don't emphasize the person who caused it. So don't be like, you suck, how dare you do this, you made me upset, you made me angry. Say, the situation hurt me, this is what was wrong with the situation. Because everyone will make mistakes. That's inevitable. But people who think that you're always arguing with them, they can't accept the fact that they have made a mistake. In the case that the thing that you're talking about was them doing something wrong and you're like trying to solve their issue, and then they think that you're arguing with them. In that sense, they probably can't accept the fact that they can make mistakes as well. Like, they just kind of have this image of God within them, like, oh, I'm perfect, I need to be perfect. These people might also expect you to be perfect as well. So, yes, filmed on MacBook. Be wary of people who think that you're arguing with them, because you will never be able to reach a common spot without you having to sacrifice your honest feelings. Like, every single time I've argued with someone who just kept on thinking I was coming at them, I literally had to limit my voice. I had to quiet my voice down, and I was not able to feel like I could be fully honest with how I felt. I just wanted the conversation to be over, because I was like, this sucks. Like, literally, I'd rather be sipping on a nice iced coffee on a beach. I'd rather go to Dunkin' Donuts than hear what you have to say about how you think that I think that you're the problem. I can't do that right now. I can't. Just be wary. Even if, like, you're not arguing, you're just saying your opinion about something, but then they're like, oh, but I think this. It's like, okay, you think that. That's fine. But I was just saying what I thought. Like, I'm not saying that you're wrong. Unless you think you're wrong. Unless you want me to say that you're wrong. So then instead of telling yourself that you're wrong, now you can defend yourself to me. But really, you're just trying to defend yourself to yourself. Whoa, was that a brain fart? Honestly, it's true though. Sometimes, like, really, they want you to argue with them so that they can reinforce their point, so that they can believe their point even more. They need some kind of way to make them believe in what they want to believe. So sometimes they will really pick at your words and say, oh, you said that? That must mean that you think that what I think is wrong. It's like, no, honey, no one said that. Like, Do you think what you think is wrong? Just understand that it can be very frustrating to speak with these people, but it's not, don't hate on them. But you hate people less when you just know how to walk away from situations. Okay. This kind of melts into my other category. People who think you're judging them. People who are so self-critical. Thank you, society, for conditioning our young women and young men and young people to freaking hate themselves so much. Thank you, society. Because now you can't even talk to people without them over-analyzing your every facial expression, your every body language, your every word, and then thinking that you're judging them. Like, no, can I not have an opinion? Can I not just have an opinion about something without you thinking that I hate you? Like, what is with this? Now everyone, first of all, the whole meme about people just like Gen Z or millennials or something, looking at millennials having a conversation. I'm not a millennial, so I can't even speak for them. I speak for the trees. People who need to apologize, when they're just saying something. Guys, I hear the word sorry in a conversation now more than I've ever heard that when I actually deserved an apology. Girl, what is happening? Guys, stop saying sorry. Please. Unless there's actually a reason to say sorry, it's okay. You don't have to say sorry. It's just kind of now you're the outlier who doesn't say sorry for every other thing. And then it's am I the bad person? Should I be saying sorry for sneezing? People who think you're judging them are always just judging themselves. But once again, everything is a mirror. Even when you're talking to somebody, okay? I always say this, you will never know what anyone is ever thinking because you're only seeing them through your own lens, through your own brain, okay? You will never know anybody 100%. You only know people in the way that you know yourself. Everything goes back to self, right? The world is all about you, honey. The world is your oyster. You will never know what anyone's ever thinking about you. So people who automatically assume that you're judging them are already judging themselves. And guess what? If they're judging themselves, they're judging you. And listen, sometimes judgment is great. Okay, hold on. Sometimes judgment is great. Should I sleep today instead of going out at night because I haven't gotten good sleep the last 3 days? Yes, and that is good judgment. Judgment of, oh, that fat pimple on her face. Girl, where'd you get that? What is this? That's not great. What does that judgment do? Oh, you think, why do you want to go talk to these people? Why do you want to do this as a career? Is it your business? Is it literally your business? And that's the thing is people need to get used to standing on their own opinions of themselves. And once they can do that, then we can have a conversation because now you're not overanalyzing everything that I'm saying. Just be careful with people who think that you're judging them. It's already hard to just get through to people in general because once I said there is always this bias we already have when we're talking to people. It's implicit. We can only be aware of it. It's kind of hard to, it's not impossible, I don't think, but it's kind of hard to strip every opinion, every bias we've ever had. It's just our responsibility to be open-minded and listen to people because that is what actually brings us together, with this understanding also that everyone is who they are for their own reason, and it's not your responsibility nor something you should do nor something you deserve to do. It's not up to you to take what they're saying personally. You don't deserve to take what someone says personally, no matter how much they make you think that, okay? You have the right to your own opinion of yourself. Because once again, any opinion that anyone ever has had of you is based on themselves. Honestly, it's kind of selfish when someone projects their own opinion, especially when it's not asked for. Know who you are. Know the people who think that you're judging them. You are not in the wrong, honey. They're the ones who think that. And there's no amount of over-explaining that you can do sometimes to get people to understand. If it's a close friend or something, they probably know that you care about them and that you love them, hopefully. But sometimes even at that point, it's kind of hard. So just be wary of people who think that you're judging them. Third is people who feel entitled to your time. What just happened? Okay, I don't know it sounds like literally a dinosaur is landing on Earth. I don't know what is that loud noise, but anyway. People who feel entitled to your time. Guys, one thing I want to stress is you do not owe anybody anything, literally ever. You just don't. And especially when you're conditioned, especially women, okay? Women. I hate to get into the gender norms here, but I'm going to because it's true. Women are usually conditioned to make everyone feel comfortable, okay, in a setting. If everyone's uncomfortable, even if you are uncomfortable, you're kind of conditioned to make things less awkward. This is what happened to me the other day, real quick, just a quick story time. I was literally having lunch with people I've never met before, and I only sat there because my friend like wanted to sit there, and I was like, yes, girl, like let's go sit with these people. I don't know them. First mistake. God forbid I try to be social. Just kidding. It was just this one instance. And honestly, I'm glad it happened because now I can tell the story. And it really put a lot into perspective for me because I give the benefit of the doubt a lot, okay? I trust that people are intelligent and considerate enough to be careful of how they speak to others, but maybe that's just me. We sat down. It was just me and this other guy, and he speaks Italian, so I was trying to speak Italian to him. Guys, don't come at my Italian because honestly, it's poop, it's merda, or whatever. Merda? Okay, whatever. It's poop, let's just say, for now. And I was like, no posso, because I was like trying to say no posso parlare or something. I can't speak very good. I'm saying no posso, and then he interrupts me, and he goes, no posso what? Twerk? Bro, if this was a fill-in-the-blank exam, like, this boy would have failed so hard. Where do I look like I was gonna say that? That was my first thought. I was like, what? And then I was like, wait, no, he's, like, just trying to be a meanie pants. Like, just trying to be weird. Like, what is this? Like, provocative. Yeah, that's the word. So that really pissed me off, guys. After that, I was like, I'm not even gonna try to make this less awkward. Literally at dinner, if it was just me and him, I was on my phone. I was not talking to him. I was leaving the table. Bro, like, I don't even care to explain that was, like, I was like, why would you say that? And I left it at that. And if this was me, like, a couple years ago, I just would have been like, would I actually? I don't know. But the whole time that I was with those boys, like, I literally could not talk to them. Like, maybe, like, if I was bored again after, like, 20 minutes of eating, bring up like a little good questionnaire, but very blunt to my point. Okay, I was very much like, stop talking to me, stop asking me questions, like, stop. Okay, one could have argued that I could have left the table, but I wasn't in the right mindset to make a decision. So correct. My point is, you don't owe anybody comfort unless you decide to. Okay, everything is within your choice. That being said, no one is entitled to your time. Time is literally money, guys. How you spend your time, no matter how old you are, but especially when you're younger, is so important because it dictates a lot of your future. Who you date dictates a lot of your time. Who you are friends with dictates a lot of your time. You could be spending your time investing in yourself, going to the gym, working on a hobby, working on a project, applying to jobs, reading a book, building your brain power, doing something good, cooking a nice meal, taking care of yourself, spending time with people you actually love and care about. So when someone is entitled to your time, that's already a red flag. Let's say you're trying to schedule a date. They say, okay, we're going to hang out this weekend. Okay, this weekend, great. Over the weekend, they don't text you anything, and you literally block out a time just to hang out with them. And then they get back to you that Monday, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I was busy. The fact that they couldn't text you and let you know that prior to when you were supposed to hang out, or that weekend. Yes, I'm projecting my own example because this actually pissed me off so hard. Girl, they don't respect your time. I ghost these people. I don't even give an explanation. I don't care. Because you didn't care to let me know. So I don't care either. Thank you. I just match your energy, babes. Like, that's it. People who really, really respect you will work with you, will try to, their best to actually see you. They want to see you. Even if they like you, liking you is not enough, honey. Liking you is not enough. You gotta show me that you want to spend time with me. There's a difference between, oh, I like you. Okay, yeah, a lot of people like me. What is so special about you that I'm gonna block out a time in my day to hang out with you? Treat yourself in this way, because honestly, it gets rid of so many people that you do not need to even engage with. Just not worth it. So forget about those people. They're disrespectful. Maybe they just need to figure out their own life, honestly. They need to figure out what they want, because people who know what they want and then they... literally stimming. People who know what they want and they know that what they want is to be with you, they'll show it. You'll know when someone knows what they want. If they're flaky, if they're not communicative, if they're acting weird, they're not honest, they're not authentic. Even when you hang out with them, the energy is off, like you just don't feel comfortable. Those are signs. Those are signs. Typically, these kinds of people don't know what they want, but they're trying to hang out with you anyway, which can be fine. Like, no one has to know 100% what they want. But if you're somebody who knows what you want and you know how you want to spend your time and you're marking off your time to hang out with somebody, be picky, because that matters. Be entitled to your time. You do not owe anybody anything. If someone is saying you need to come to this meeting, even with jobs, if I'm not getting paid to work, I am not working. No. If I am not free to do something, even if it's me just wanting a vacation, if someone asks me to do something and I don't want to do it, I'm going to say no. No. But you know what? I can do it another time. Because listen, there is a reason why they're asking you. And if they really, really respect the things that you're able to offer them, they will wait. Think about like an artist or like a really good restaurant or something. You will wait in line for this restaurant if it's really good. You will book in advance and you'll remember the date that you have this appointment or this restaurant like dinner, because you want to go there. You value what this thing has to offer you. This is how people should treat each other, because it's not fair to just think that people are available for you all the time. No, girl. You're too spoiled. Like, what do you think this is? I don't owe you anything. Same with like sexual encounters. You don't owe anybody anything. It's your body, it's your mind, it's your time, it's your energy, it's yours. It's the one thing that you actually have ownership over. The one thing. You might buy a house, but that house can get flooded or something. And then what is that at that point? But you are literally your vessel. You are your power. Stand on it, because anything that you invest, that you put into this, literally into this, into this, into this, into this, into everything, okay, is an investment. And it shows up in your brain. It shows up in your skin. It shows up in your future, okay? So remember, be precious with your time. Only people who show that they're worthy for it should get it. Period. Okay, last group of people to say peace out to, if need be. What? I didn't know these are things that I could do. Okay. Anyway, people who ask for things and never ask how you're doing. You know those people who like literally just only text you when they need something? Yeah. I feel like, is there even more to say about this? You know what? I think that sometimes, like, this kind of goes back to the entitled to your time thing. Sometimes we have this desire to be as polite as possible to everybody. Listen, everyone deserves kindness, but if you're not being honest about how someone is treating you or how, you would like to be treated, then of course the behavior is going to keep on repeating. So if you don't even think that engaging with someone and kind of talking, which I think you should definitely tell people, like if they're treating you a certain way, it's always good to communicate. But, if you don't know how to do that nicely, I think it's very important to just know to stop texting these people and stop responding to them. Because once again, you don't owe anybody a response. Period. People like this, first of all, they obviously don't care about you. Which is not cool. Sometimes we feel like there's not really a loss in helping people and just always being there when they need us. But once again, you're showing them that you're available 24/7. One good test that I like to do is I'll be available and I'll see what my availability does in terms of like how they respond to me. And if it makes them more loving or just more comfortable with me and I'm getting the same energy back, okay, that's fine. I can be available, those are like what my close friends are for. I'm available for them if they need me. I expect that they're available for me when I need them. And if not, I also reciprocate. I kind of distance myself. You should be getting what you give. Right? That's how you keep your cup full. So people who are already jumping on too quickly, and then maybe not even asking to hang out with you, it's just like, oh, like, can you do this? Oh, no. It's kind of like, can you not do things on your own? Honestly, like, can Can you not figure things out on your own? Sorry. Like, that's just my annoyance there. It seems like they're very used to having things being done for them. They're taken care of, but you don't need to take care of them. Or maybe they don't even trust in their ability to do things the right way, which is something that they need to do anyway. They need to figure that out, because if not, their whole life, they're going to be low on confidence, low on self-esteem. And eventually, who is going to take care of them? Are they going to have even enough confidence to improve their life if they need to? Like, no, because they're always relying on other people. So actually distancing yourself is benefiting them. I always believe that doing things that is the best for you is actually the best for everybody else, because if you're doing something that contradicts with what you want and what is good for you, you're embodying a version of yourself that is not satisfied and is not nurtured and does not feel respected, because you're doing something that does not balance out with what you want. So there will be a disconnect in who you are and how you feel about yourself, and that version of you will be what you bring to the table. And that's not the version of you that you want to bring to any table, okay? You want to bring 110% in everything that you do. That's what you want to strive for. And if you can't do that, then this is how misconceptions of you happen, which honestly, who really cares about misconceptions anyway? Because, like, that's people's bias and judgments of, like, whatever. But it's still kind of this, you played a role in that misconception because you provided a version of yourself that was kind of not authentic, it wasn't true to who you are. So now if someone says, oh, this is the kind of person that Yusra is, I mean, it's the energy I brought to the table, but it's not really who I am. It's just like the version of myself I had to be okay with the situation. And that's not always fair. Though I'm not gonna lie, I think having these experiences where you feel out of touch with yourself teaches you a lot anyway about who you are. So once again, like, it's no big deal. It's no big deal if you fall into these patterns and if you experience these kinds of people or make mistakes in general, or like, not show up as yourself, because it's through these experiences where you learn more about who you are and what you want. If it wasn't for the things that I went through, I would not have had this like kind of list even. So yes, I think that's actually all I wanted to talk about. Hopefully. If not, that's gonna be so awkward. Love you guys. Take care. Eat some good food. Eat a nice salad today. I hope you're eating your greens. I'm about to go eat a kale apple salad with balsamic vinegar. Then I'm gonna go give a presentation in a couple hours. Wish me luck. Oh, we got it. Okay. I love you guys so much. And if you're new here, thank you for coming. I'm so happy to have you. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. Hey, it's good to see you. Have a good freaking day.